Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perennial round of 32. It is time once again for another one of our matchups here in the winner's bracket between Banana Bread and Kakurenbo this time around. My name is Dio. I'll be here once again with Mavs for this matchup. Good evening. Well, actually good night for me, but good afternoon for you, Mavs?
Yeah, afternoon.
Yeah.
2 p.m. right now, so pretty much an afternoon. And yeah, good night for Dio after a very long day of casting. Finally to the last match now. We've got Banana Bread versus Kakurenbo. Did I pronounce that right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. You know, some players here that, well, quite a few players I'm not particularly familiar with, unfortunately. But a few that I am. You know, a couple that stand out to me. Spectre, who I believe played for 3WC Japan. Very, very solid player. Was pretty good all round from what I recall. We've got a few players here on Banana Bread that do stick out to me. We've got players like Jackson, Legend, Pikaporn, and yeah, I think, you know, these are most of the players that are standing out to me. Of course, I'm not too familiar with a lot of these ones, unfortunately. But, you know, hopefully a good matchup today. We do have a bit of a difference in the seeding results here. We've got Banana Bread coming in at seed number 10 and Kakurenbo at seed number 23. So, you know, an expected victory here for Banana Bread, but of course, always room for an upset. I think generally when you see these bigger tournaments, there's always usually at least one major upset among the tournament, usually a couple. So, you know, there's always room for it, especially in the round of 32, I think. This is where you're most likely to see the upsets on those earlier pools, about that 6.5 star range or so, a bit lower even. And as we see here, we've got Banana Bread, their qualifier results, seeding at number 3 for no mod, which is pretty crazy. I mean, in comparison to what they've seeded at on these other mods here, 18 for Hidden, 19 for Hard Rock, and 13 for DT. So some very, very impressive and consistent no mod performances from them. A couple standouts here and there where they kind of fell behind, that Hidden 2, for example, and the Hard Rock 2. So something that maybe Kakurenbo will be looking to hopefully punish.
I think one thing, though, that does bode well for Banana Bread because of the way their scores were distributed is that free mod pool. Sure, free mod 1 maybe not the greatest for them, but that free mod 2 pick looks really attractive with how well they did on Hidden 1 and Hard Rock 1 as well. And the DT pool overall still looking very good for them, I think. Especially Kakurenbo, number 7 on DT1, which is really ridiculous. Very, very good score for them there. But number 47 on DT2, which a very, very low score in comparison to a lot of their other scores across the qualifiers pool, especially taking the DT mod multiplier into account for them. Really looking, though, at some contests in, like you said, the Hidden 2, the Hard Rock 2 for Kakurenbo to take advantage of those. Some contested maps in DT and Hard Rock as well, with the Hard Rock 1, DT1, and probably DT3 all being contested maps. And then, yeah, that free mod pool, I think, is going to decide a lot of this, because you see the no mod pool and you know Banana Bread has the advantage there. You see some of these other picks that we've talked about, the Hidden 2, the Hard Rock 2, some of the free mods and DTs that Kakurenbo probably has an advantage on, but gonna be interesting to see how they actually do on a lot of these maps. So without any further ado, we should be getting the bans from both of these teams soon. I see more than enough members in the lobby at this point for us to be getting the bans from both of them, get the roles and all that underway.
Yeah, I'd like to point out more about those qualifier results. So the DT maps here specifically for Kakurenbo, looking like they have maybe a bit of fourth player syndrome going into some of these speedier picks. They did have 7 of their 8 players play the qualifiers. The only one not playing was Like You. Not Like You, Dio, but his name is literally Like You. So he was not playing any of the maps in their qualifiers. So unless maybe he was one of their DT players who was unfortunately unable to make it on the qualifiers lobby.
Yeah,
it's looking like they might have fourth player syndrome.
Like You actually screened out, unfortunately, I believe restricted at this point in time. And so, yeah, we'll not be joining them for any future matches, let alone this one or the qualifiers. So yeah, maybe one of their speed players. You never know. But regardless, gonna have to be playing without him for the rest of the tournament for Kakurenbo. So with that in mind, the 7 members who did play qualifiers is their full roster. So those are completely accurate results for them.
Yeah, okay, well, in saying that then, it's looking like on some of these more left-handed oriented picks, I'm looking at things like DT2 and Nomod 2 specifically, although DT2 not being very stamina or speed intensive, still very finger control-y kind of left-handed map regardless. You know, these scores they have on these maps, Nomod 2 and DT2 specifically in the qualifiers, 1.4 million on both of them, and I mean, Banana Bread just looking extremely strong on these types of left-handed maps. Almost a 3 million on the Nomod 2 in their qualifier run and a 2.6 on the DT2. So something that Kakurenbo are probably going to be looking into banning out here. But we'll have to wait and see what bans Banana Bread go for. Some pretty low scores on the hidden overall. So that's probably something they will be banning into. But we will have to wait and see as we get into the captain's decisions here on the ban first or second.
Gonna be first pick for Banana Bread. I think that's a solid choice from the role. Very likely to be second ban for Kakurenbo. Just not give away early ban information for no reason. There's not really a reason to take first ban in this tournament, so I think the majority of teams who are given the choice of ban will be taking second ban as their choice. This is going to be second ban for Kakurenbo as well. So first ban to Banana Bread. We've been calling it out this whole time, but the Hidden 2, the Hard Rock 2, 1 are the places where, of course, Kakurenbo actually beating out Banana Bread in the qualifiers. So very likely to see some of those banned out by Banana Bread in this match as well. If I were Banana Bread, looking at the qualifier results, I would be looking at the Hard Rock to ban out, just because the Hard Rock pool overall was not very good for them. They're going to ban out Hidden 2, however, perhaps missing one of their core members for Hidden at the moment. You never know how it is for any of these teams coming in. Whether they're missing members or have all 8 or only have the 4 that you see in the lobby right now. So, going to be the Hidden 2 ban for them.
Yeah, look, Kakurenbo had a better Hidden 2 score, so, you know, it's expected to see. I think, you know, Banana Bread, they were pretty all-round on that Hidden 2 performance. Everyone's sitting pretty much between that 300 to 450k mark. So it wasn't necessarily a bad performance, but just perhaps something they're not feeling comfortable on when we move into these easier Hidden 2 maps, where, you know, your star performers on the side of Kakurenbo that did really well on that AR rate are probably just going to shred this one up even more than they did on Goodbye Miss Jack, which of course is a much harder Hidden 2. So yeah, it's, you know, it's not a bad ban by any means. They obviously, it's always good to take that kind of weird gimmicky map out of the pool against the lower seeded team that is most likely going to go for the less mechanically oriented maps to try and take you down. Although we did mention that the DT1, of course, Kakurenbo did extremely well on a 3 million score practically, so that's definitely a standout in comparison to all their other performances. So that's something they're going to be looking at. Banana Bread, though, no slouch on that DT1 as well, a 2.7 million. So absolutely something that could be close, and especially with how short the map is, a lot less room for nerves to take over. It looks like the Nomod 5 ban coming out from Kakurenbo. So yeah, like we said before, those left-handed kind of maps that Banana Bread very clearly have the advantage on. They're going to be taking one of those out of the pool, and it is going to be the Nomod 5. I'm assuming if it gets to that point after 4 maps are played and we see the second bans come out, we'll probably see a Nomod 2 or a DT3 ban come out from them. However, I have a feeling both those maps are probably going to get picked within these first 4, so we'll have to wait and see what Banana Bread decide to go for, and it is going to be their pick first up, so to see what they maybe go for. I think, like I mentioned, Nomod 2 or DT3 are very good shouts here looking at these qualifier results. They probably want to get these out of the way before Kakurenbo have the chance to ban them.
I definitely agree. I think if you are Kakurenbo, yeah, you're looking at picking into the Hard Rock pool. You're looking at picking maybe DT1, given that it is high approach rate, and maybe DT3 if you're feeling the bursty sorts of maps. And if you are Banana Bread, I don't know about this No Mod 4 pick as a first pick, but it's still a map where you see a pretty wide difference in score out of qualifiers. I think they could have saved the rest of this No Mod pool for after the bans come through and pick into some of those DTs instead early on, particularly the DT2, where there's a very direct analog to qualifiers and you have a massive score lead, largely off the back of Jackson with that 900k on the DT2 in qualifiers, but they're going to go with the No Mod 4 instead. Despite having a lot of their DT roster here, it is going to be that DT4, or excuse me, not DT4. We are not at 4 DTs yet. The No Mod 4. Not yet. They actually have a very good roster for this map. Razorfruit and Pinkus both being here means that they have their 2 top performers for qualifiers, and so they're likely to have a really solid overall roster for this map, regardless of who else fills in. There's going to be Cotton and Jackson, and those were the other 2 from qualifiers who happened to be playing it during their quals lobby. So yeah, overall very solid solid first pick for Banana Bread here, where they have their full assumedly choice of roster for this map.
Yeah, as you mentioned, very surprising pick. I'm very surprised to see them go into the No Mod 4 this early. I don't think it's a bad pick, but just to see it first picked is very surprising. I suppose the only silver lining here I can see is that there's the No Mod 2 that's still up, the DT3 and the DT2. These are 3 maps that Banana Bread will most likely decisively win against Kakurenbo, and Kakurenbo can only ban one of them. So, you know, at the end of the day, Banana Bread still have those other 2 to pick from later on in the pool. So, you know, kind of makes up maybe for this early No Mod 4 pick, which is a bit confusing to us, but you know, they're still gonna have a really, really strong roster on this, of course. And I expect them to take this one after seeing the qualifier results on the tech map. But we are going to be having, we actually are going to be having Razorfruit, Pinkus, Decaton, and Jackson on the side of Banana Bread here. I don't know how to pronounce that, man.
Zhong Wu Yong is how you pronounce that.
Thank you, dear.
Zhong Wu Yong, Amakawa Hano, Adapir, and Netta in for this. No surprises to see Adapir in. He is somebody who I have had the pleasure of playing against many a time in lower rank range tournaments, who has now ranked up dirty D-ranker aim farmer Adapir, who is also just absolutely disgusting on these types of tech maps. Very likely to be a good asset for trying to take some breakpoints in the No Mod pool for Kakurenbo if we do ever see Banana Bread pick into stuff like the No Mod 1. Unfortunately, going to be finding an early miss here, matching the misses coming out of Jackson and Cotton. Pink is also dropping misses, however, for Banana Bread. It's only Razorfruit left standing, but that is a full team wipe now for Kakurenbo in this first quarter of the map.
7 breaks right now. We're looking at the Soul FC from Razorfruit, and yeah, I mean, no surprises here. This map is pretty brutal. There's these kind of like cut streams that go into Excel streams that also have kick sliders in them. It's really, really tough. Like the first half of this map, really the whole map is pretty tough to combo through. But it's going to be Razorfruit with the Soul FC right now as he kind of carries his team on his back here as we approach the halfway point. A bit of free combo, so this is going to do them dividends as that score starts to pull over very heavily in their favor, and that's solely because of this FC from Razorfruit, as that score is going to begin to increase more and more as this map progresses. Oh wait, was there a client break on Kakurenbo?
It must have been a client break for Amakawa Hano, yeah. Okay. Absolutely must have been. And that bodes very well for Kakurenbo to try and take this breakpoint on the first pick from Banana Bread. But there goes Amakawa Hano, and I think that's probably a real break, as this section very, very tricky to hold the combo through for anybody. Zhang Wuyong doing his best to hold on for Kakurenbo, but with Jackson and Decaton both holding strong for Banana Bread, this one's neatly buttoned up for them.
Funny slider time.
Funny slider time, yeah.
You can hit them. Oh my god. It's just Jackson holding on now.
This section was described as racist on the map pool showcase. I have to agree. I have to agree. This section is extremely prejudiced against anybody who is not comfortable with this type of slider, which is to say the vast majority of people who come across it. Jackson the only one to really combo through that section at all, but very solid overall team scores for Banana Bread. Only Pinkus really down there in the unfortunate dumps with the 300k, but 600k and 500k from Jackson and Razor Fruit, so very solid scores for them. Solid effort from Adapir and Amakawa Hano, who did top score for Kakurenbo, but just not enough to compete with the high scores out of Banana Bread.
Yeah, unfortunate 240k there from Neta, however that is pronounced, and the only B rank in the lobby there. Just overall kind of consistency difference between the two teams. There's average scores just a bit higher pretty much across the board for Banana Bread, and yeah, Neta unfortunately unable to get a combo really rolling. That kind of can be how it goes sometimes on these no mod formats with these weird patterns. You play them so many times in practice and you'll get these sick combos and you'll do really well, and then it comes to the match and you just fall apart on the tech map. At least this is my personal experience. It's just kind of the case with these tech maps, and often with your no mod 3s as well. It's just so easy to just fall apart on in match, and it's, you know, it's just with the timing of some of these snap patterns and, you know, an Excel stream that maybe you aim just very slightly too fast and you just chain miss the whole thing. It can really be brutal sometimes with nerves on the table. But we are going to be moving into Kakurenbo's first pick now, and like we mentioned before, we've got maps here that they could look into picking. I think DT1 was something that we talked about being very strong pick for them, especially with how short the map is. It is something they can go into not having to worry too much about the nerves factor, and, you know, just hopefully being able to out DT1 Banana Bread, who also had a very strong score in the qualifiers. But, you know, it's something, it's a strength for Kakurenbo. It's something they'll look into. We've also got those hard rocks, like we mentioned, that Banana Bread didn't do super well on. Kakurenbo not doing amazingly well on either, but still doing well enough to be able to take these maps. And it's actually going to be the free mod 1, which they're going to be going right into, kind of our gimmicky free mod for the week, an AR8 and a CS 6.5 if you were to take hard rock. And be interested to see if we see any more easies this time after seeing 3 of them in the last match.
I'm so confused by these first picks for both these teams. Relatively close, no mod 4 first pick for Banana Bread, which is fine. You kind of expect them to pick it at some point in the match anyway. But I feel like it could have been left until later, regardless. Could have been left as sort of a flex pick, where, you know, after the first round or after the second round of bans comes through, you then get that no mod 4 pick to come through. This free mod 1 though, I don't know if it's a good pick for. Actually, no, never mind. Excuse me. This is a very good pick for Kakurenbo. I was shouting out Banana Bread on free mod 2 during the pre-match analysis that we were able to get in. But on both Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers, Kakurenbo actually outscoring Banana Bread. And this free mod 1 has a direct analog to both of those, being AR8 and CS5. So, of course, if you're taking Hidden, analogous to the Hidden 2 out of qualifiers. If you're taking Hard Rock, analogous to the Hard Rock 2 out of qualifiers. So, very good, very good chance that this is a dominant map for Kakurenbo, especially with the mod rules in this tournament that every single player needs to take a mod.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to point that out too. I mean, they all have to take mods, so they are, you know, Banana Bread here are forced to play AR8 or 6.5. You know, there's no mods that can come into play. They're forced to play hidden AR8 or CS 6.5 with Hard Rock, or maybe they've got some players that have practiced it on easy. So we have to wait and see. I hope we see another easy. It'd be pretty cool. It was very unexpected for me in the last match, so it would be unexpected to see here too, but we'll have to see.
A little bit. Yeah, definitely a little unexpected.
3 easies. It's not, you know, it's interesting to see people, especially higher seeded teams like Welcome to Trev City in that last match, actually take that amount of time to practice the free mod 1 on easy on such an early pool, you know, just take 2 easies into it. So it's surprising to see, but we'll have to see who on Banana Bread or Kakurenbo perhaps has practiced this one enough. Maybe we'll see some easies on the board here, but if not, this is looking maybe favored for Kakurenbo, as we were talking about before. I think if we were to see no easies, like easy kind of players come out here who have practiced the map a lot on either side, if we just see the hiddens and the hard rocks, I think it's fair to say that this one is maybe very slightly favored on the side of Kakurenbo.
Yeah, this is a... I don't think we're seeing I don't think we're seeing easy on this one. I don't know. We'll see, but none of these players really are super huge easy players. I think if anything, we're gonna be saying just kind of typical mods, maybe even split for both teams. That just kind of depends on who wants to go what. I could definitely see Non-Cycle going hidden on this map, and Adapir probably going Hard Rock. Adapir, a relatively strong Hard Rock player. From there, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with Lujol as a player. Maybe taking the... actually, probably Hard Rock for Kakurenbo. Did not play either the Hiddens or the Hard Rocks in qualifiers for this team. And so a little surprising to see them in the lobby for this one. Amakawa Hano probably taking the Hidden, and wow, 3 Hard Rocks for both teams, actually. 1 Hidden on each of them, so very clear comparison to be drawn between Non-Cycle and Amakawa Hano for this map. The rest of the entire lobby, however, all going Hard Rock on this pick. The exact opposite of the previous lobby we had for this one.
Yeah, look, I never played this map with Hard Rock, but I did play it with Hidden, and it was really, really brutal. Very difficult to act. I think that just goes to kind of emphasize the score, the accuracy from Fia last match on that Hidden. This is really tricky with Hidden. I'd say it's probably Hard Rock favored, although I can't be too sure on that, as I'm not a Hard Rock player myself, but this one felt really tricky on Hidden. So I'm almost not surprised to see just the 1 Hidden on either side. We can see some very early axe struggles from Non-Cycle, 80 down to 83% on that Hidden. Holding the combo though, so maybe that'll be all that matters for now. Amakawa Hano, I believe, holding onto that FC alongside Lujol and Decatin, and Razorfruit as well, excuse me. So 4 FCs remaining in the lobby, but some very close FCs as well after people broke on the very first stream of the map. Razorfruit going to be dropping his FC for Banana Bread. Lujol going to be trading. It's now 3 combos to 3, but Banana Bread with a very slight combo advantage, if I'm not mistaken. So things will start to drag back over. A couple breaks here from Amakawa Hano and Decatin. Going to be trading. Razorfruit again with a follow-up break, and still 2 big combos on the side of Banana Bread, but it's not going to be enough with the supporting combo from Lujol. They are going to have the combo advantage moving into this second, last quarter of the map even. We're almost done. This map is so short, I've almost just forgotten how short the map is, and it's really just, it's going over to them now. They're over 200k in the lead, so this is pretty much going to be it. I don't think there's any time here for Banana Bread to pull this one back over, especially with that combo from Lujol now, with the largest combo in the lobby. And that is going to be first pick to Kakurenbo.
Big ups to both Zhong Wuyong and Non-Cycle, both around that 550k mark with Hard Rock. Really necessary for them to put up those kinds of scores. And actually, the entire lobby for Kakurenbo, all above 500k, is a really nasty team consistency on that type of map. Everybody with a solid score. 0 misses for Lujol, 92% AC, making that an A rank, but everybody else with just 2 or 3 misses for their side. Same for Banana Bread, actually. 1 miss on Cotton and 2 misses for both Razorfruit and Jackson. Just Non-Cycle, of course, having a bit of trouble with the Hidden, and Razorfruit having a bit of trouble with the slider breaks on that Hard Rock, it looks like, dragging the score down a little bit. So 1-1 after the first set of picks, and this match is looking up to be relatively close between the 2 teams out of the gate.
Yeah, we see that Hidden performance there from Non-Cycle on the side of Banana Bread, and, struggling pretty severely, although I can't blame him with how tricky that one is on Hidden, but a B rank on Hidden there, under 90% accuracy, and I think that goes to show why they've banned out the AR8 this week. Pretty low team scores, of course, like we talked about in the qualifiers, and if Non-Cycle was the player they put on Hidden there on the free mod 1, and he was still struggling quite a bit, then, I think that goes to show maybe the overall comfort level of Banana Bread on those lower AR Hidden maps. So good pick from Kakurenbo. especially looking at the qualifier results on paper, it was a good pick all round. And I mean, they performed on the day. They were looking really consistent. Everyone with over 500k. So a very good first pick from them, and that's actually going to tie things up at 1-1 now as Banana Bread move into their second pick, followed by Kakurenbo's second pick, and then we will move into our second bans. So we'll have to see what players go for here on their last picks before our second lot of bans. And yeah, it is going to be the No Mod 2 for Banana Bread, which is what we talked about, those left-handed maps being very beneficial for them. Obviously the No Mod 5 ban from Kakurenbo, so this is no surprise. And I mean, this one's pretty cut and dry. I think we need to see an absolute miracle for Kakurenbo to take this one off Banana Bread, especially with the difficulty of this No Mod 2. I think it is a pretty damn hard No Mod 2.
Yeah, this map's hard. I don't know. I feel like players are really good at mechanics maps, or we just made the No Mod 2 hard or something, because this map's really difficult. Despite it being only 185 BPM, the flowing requirement on this map is just absurd. So many space streams and accel decel streams in this No Mod 2 that are just super brutal on anyone who finds even a small misaim. You just note lock to hell and back on this sort of map and drop so much accuracy, so much combo, and so much score because of it. The stamina isn't as big of an issue on this map, I think, is the one saving grace for Kakurenbo, right? It's a very different sort of No Mod 2 from what you see in qualifiers, which is to say that, maybe the double score that Banana Bread has over Kakurenbo on No Mod 2 out of qualifiers isn't completely predictive of the outcome of this map, but it's certainly still going to be similar scores, I think. We do see the same roster for Banana Bread as they had in qualifiers, so all four of these players are very good at No Mod 2. And as for Kakurenbo, you are looking at Adapir coming in for Spectre on this map, and I don't think that's a substitution you usually want to make if you are Kakurenbo. I think that is Adapir probably filling in for a missing player. As good as he has been on a lot of the other two maps that we've seen so far, Adapir is not a stream player. He is not a speed player, and he does not want to be in for this. So this is probably still going the way of Banana Bread.
Yeah, like you mentioned, with this No Mod 2 specifically as well, the streams, they are only 185 BPM, so if you're a decent No Mod 2 player, you're probably not going to have too much trouble on the stamina side of things, but like you said, if you're just not overall comfortable on these types of stream maps, I just find it very hard that, very unlikely that you're going to hold onto your combos through these very long sections where the streams kind of just keep going, and they just keep excelling and decelling, and the aim just becomes rather difficult, and you need to just be super consistent on long stream maps to really pull this one off and get a huge combo. And already we can see some of the spacing coming into play and the shifts onto these morph-based patterns. And we're seeing some struggles from Kakurenbo early on. There's 3 breaks on their side. Jackson the only break on Banana Bread.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Adapir. My man does not want to play this No Mod 2, I can tell you that much. He is just not happy to be in right now. And that is a full team wipe for Kakurenbo, and at this point, it's just a matter of course. The map will finish, Banana Bread will win, we will get the second pick for Kakurenbo. In the meantime, I just feel a little bad for Adapir. Treat it as a warm-up, my man. Get on to the next map. Yeah, this is just, well, this is why they picked it.
I mean, a valiant effort. Look, he's got the second biggest combo in his team right now.
Incredible. Oh, man.
Well, the question is, how many FCs are we going to see on the side of Banana Bread? We've got 3 so far. All right, I don't think I've ever quite seen... Oh, okay. Well, I've just cursed him, horribly. Yeah, there goes Jackson with another reset. Legend going to be dropping his FC. And there goes the only combo on Kakurenbo as well. So now it's just Nato with the 300. They've got 2 FCs remaining on the side of Banana Bread. Can they close these ones out?
Yeah, and
Oh,
for
man.
anybody wondering
Wow.
why we were thinking of Banana Bread picking the tapping maps out of the gate, this is why we thought they would just be picking tapping maps out of the gate. Because this is what happens when they just pick No Mod 2. Not even DT3 or No Mod 5. Just No Mod 2. Just the No Mod stream map at 185 BPM. Double full combo for them. This is actually a very, very good team score for Banana Bread, just objectively speaking,
Yeah.
even compared to some of the better teams in the tournament. This is a very solid score for them. So a really, really good pick overall for Banana Bread, and something that I think they pick even into stronger teams than themselves, which says a lot about just how good those scores actually are. The double full combo there for the Cotton and Razor Fruit. Very, very solid scores.
Yeah, I think that was a very, very good team score. I mean, looking at almost 3 mil, I think that's something that will probably beat out a lot of these top-seeded teams, especially, teams seeded higher than they are at seed number 10. I think this is a very strong No Mod 2 score. I think we'll see this among some of the top scores for this week on that No Mod 2. But now, moving into our final pick, and it's going to be from Kakurenbo before our second lot of bans, of course, not the final pick of the match, but the final pick before our second round of bans. And, I'm interested to see what they go for. I think one of the Hard Rocks or the DT1 is kind of what should be on the plate for them. I would be very surprised to see them stray away from that. I mean, maybe you could argue there's room for a hidden one, but I don't think so. Actually, I take that back. I think a DT or a Hard Rock, a DT1 or a Hard Rock for sure.
I would love to see the Hard Rock too. I think it's a very easy ban for Banana Bread in the second round of gameplay, and I think they're feeling good for Banana Bread's side on a lot of the speed and stamina stuff right now. Clearly, their members are feeling pretty good on the speed and stamina right now.
Yeah.
So I think that picking into the Hard Rock 2 is a very good idea for them. It's going to be Hard Rock 1 instead, which I think this is the first time we've actually seen this map on stream. It's Ninely. This is a classic Pro Box Hard Rock 1 aim map. Yeah, you wouldn't have called this an aim map back in the day when it was actually released. I mean, I remember when this actually got ranked and played it for the first time, and I was just kind of like, whoa, man, these sliders are crazy. It's weird to think now that this is just a Hard Rock 1 aim consistency pick, but largely slider-heavy Hard Rock aim map here for this pick. Not a ton of crazy stuff going on, but if you're not comfortable with Hard Rock, if you're not comfortable reading that AR-10, then the slider aim in this map is actually going to present a challenge to you, and a reading challenge in particular, which makes comfort on the mod and consistency on the mod something that you really need to have in spades to do well on this map. And I think that's what makes maps like this, or like Twerk from OWC, very, very good Hard Rock 1 picks, especially early stage.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning the Hard Rock 1 scores in qualifiers. Actually only a 3,000 score difference between the two teams, so pretty 50-50 across the board, although we were mentioning kind of the gimmickiness, I guess you could say, of this Hard Rock 1. A bit more techy, and I think that's kind of to cover for the fact that we only have 2 Hard Rock maps, of course, so it's kind of covering a little bit of that Hard Rock 3 slot as well as the Hard Rock 1 slot. So a great pick, and I think it's a really cool map. Great song as well. But, obviously the map is different from your standard generic Hard Rock 1, but as we mentioned, you still need that Hard Rock consistency to be good at a map like this. It doesn't matter that it's maybe a little bit more techy, a little bit different. If you can play Hard Rock 1s, you could probably play this too. It is generally still just an aim consistency map, albeit maybe a little bit more slider focused and a couple streams here and there, but still rather consistent. If you're good at aim consistency on Hard Rock 1, then you're probably going to be relatively good at this map, especially on an early pool.
That said, a lot of good Hard Rock 1 players on both of these teams. Pinkus in particular, a very, very good Hard Rock aim player. Somebody whose skill cap knows no bounds in tournament play. They don't make Hard Rock 1s hard enough for Pinkus in tournaments, actually. The man just farms Hard Rock into 2-digit. A lot of really solid Hard Rock consistency players outside of him as well, however. Zhang Ruyang is a standout player for Kakurenbo, scored 850k on the Hard Rock 1 in qualifiers, and Amakawa Hano with the 730k on Hard Rock 1 in qualifiers.
No funny breaks in the intro. Moving into our first KI now. Still got an 8-way on the board, and I expect to see some breaks relatively soon, and there it is. Razor Fruit going to be the first to drop on the side of Banana Bread, and that's going to give the combo end score lead to Kakurenbo as they're still holding on to their 4-way. Never mind, there goes Jackson for the side of Banana Bread as well. Jong Woo Yong as well on the side of Kakurenbo, dropping his FC. So now 3-2. Kakurenbo still with the advantage, moving through this first KI, and that is a brutal cut stream, and I am so surprised we only saw 2 breaks on that. I'm going to be honest. Decadent and Adapir going to be finding drops, and that leaves just 1 FC on Banana Bread. Kakurenbo doing really well for both of their FCs to hit that pattern. That pattern is extremely brutal.
Netta breaking on air during this section. And that is now just Amakawa Hano versus Pincus. Two of the players shouted out at the start of the map to hold on to those high combos to potentially be the breadwinners for either of these teams. We'll see if Amakawa Hano can make it happen for Kakurenbo right now, as they really need to hold those shakes. Not looking good, however, going into the second TI time right now. These 1/3 jumps in this section can be really nasty as you swap between 1/4 and 1/3.
I mean, Kakurenbo, they still have a very slight score lead, but it is going over to Banana Bread. That's such a heartbreaking break for Netta. Oh no, there goes Amakawa Hana. This is going to be the only FC remaining for Kakurenbo, who's going to be dropping, and now Pincus, alongside the huge supporting combos from the rest of his team, are going to be trying to pull this one home. Potentially, I mean, these recovery combos from the rest of the team there, I mean, they're just really, really impressive. The score is rocketing over to their side now with just how big of a combo lead they have, especially seeing these follow-up breaks from Kakurenbo. Oh, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, Amakawa Hano just shaking off of a stream right there and not able to hold on to the combo. Zhong Huiyong dropping the only other high combo in the lobby for Kakurenbo right now. It's just Netta with 500 combo or so, but that's still lower than even the worst supporting combo for Banana Bread in Dekaten at about 650, 700 combo. Pincus, of course, still on the full combo. Like I said, they don't make hard walk ones hard enough for this guy, still holding on to the FC. The accuracy could use some improvement, but he's going to play a major role in taking home the win for Banana Bread on this map and bringing them their first break point of this match.
Well deserved. I mean, it was looking really close at about the halfway point there. Very, very heartbreaking FC drop from Netta on air, as you mentioned. Pretty much nothing. He broke on after hitting a really difficult stream pattern. So that's really heartbreaking. It's always a frustrating moment in a tournament match to just break on nothing. But it is what it is, and the silver lining is, at the end of the day, if he were to FC, I think Banana Bread still would have taken that point very convincingly. So Pincus, a very, very impressive FC on that one. 97% almost. You know, I wouldn't say bad accuracy. It's pretty average across the board here. Everyone's sitting at around 97. It can generally be a bit harder to get higher accuracy on some of those sliders and kind of weird patterns that hard rock one does have. But moving into our second lot of bans now. And it is going to be Banana Bread kicking things off with what I assume would be maybe a DT1 or Hard Rock 2 ban?
I'm assuming Hard Rock 2. I'm assuming Hard Rock 2 or... I just think Hard Rock 2, actually. The DT1 ban, I think, is speculative at best, just because the DT1 from qualifiers is not at all the same type of map as this DT1. The DT1 from qualifiers is essentially DT3 light, but with high approach rate. And so you get a very different type of skill test from that type of DT1 than you do from this one. I think if you're drawing off of the qualifier information you have for both of these teams, you're looking at that Hard Rock 2 as the ban for Banana Bread, but taking their time on it really makes me think that they're going to ban something we don't expect, and that it's going to be just based on the comfort of their available members. And it is going to be a free mod 2 ban, which we were actually thinking about as a potential pick for the side of Banana Bread. But,
That's interesting.
Clearly not wanting to go for that sort of pick.
I guess maybe it's as simple. Maybe we're looking too much into it here. Maybe it's as simple as, oh hey, we lost free mod 1, so let's ban free mod 2. Maybe that's what it is. No. It could be.
It might be.
Yeah, and I mean Kakurenbo, they're going to be going for that DT3 ban, yeah. So going to be taking out another one of those left-handed maps. But I mean, Banana Bread still have that DT2 to pick into. Kakurenbo, on the other hand, they've got 6.5 to look at. They've got that Hard Rock 2 on the board, and there's still this hidden 1, which for me is kind of up in the air. I don't know who wins on this hidden 1. I think I'd maybe have to favor it towards Banana Bread just because of the fact that it is 210 BPM, and there is a lot of streams. So maybe this is something that Kakurenbo maybe they struggle to tap. Specifically, there's a few streams on that map that are quite difficult. So maybe that's something that Kakurenbo won't want to pick into just because of that left-handed aspect. But it is kind of up in the air for me, in all honesty. So we will have to see.
Well, to be fair to Kakurenbo, they did have a relatively similar score on the hidden 1 out of qualifiers, and that was also a relatively tapping-heavy map. So even if they do pick into hidden 1 for the side of Banana Bread, I think that Kakurenbo still has a solid chance of winning it out. But they don't really need to pick into hidden 1. They got the whole no-mod pool to pick into. Every single map in no-mod, they've got advantages on off of qualifiers, and so they're just going to go, I think, and pick through the whole rest of the no-mod pool here. That's what I would do if I were them. And I saw all of my ridiculous no-mod scores from qualifiers. I'd be picking no-mod 3 and no-mod 1 next up. And they are going to go with Make a Loser here, 150 BPM. Despite it saying 300 BPM on screen, it plays more like a 150 BPM alt map. A lot of low BPM streams in this map with just the absolute wackiest spacing you've ever seen in your life. Just the most ridiculous sorts of changes in direction in these streams and weird changes in spacing as well that make it very, very tricky for anybody to combo through the entirety of this map. I think one of the players from the bathroom earlier today put it best. You don't miss on any hard patterns in this map, you just miss randomly anywhere because the entire map is hard. There's nothing in this map that really spikes and becomes a memorable pattern that you need to remember, practice, and do well on. The whole map is consistently difficult and is a really, really tricky test of your flow aim and alt consistency.
I think that's what makes a good No Mod 3 as well. I think it's something that we're generally used to seeing, at least on a lot of No Mod 3 maps, is they're just consistently difficult all throughout. And the patterns kind of just don't stop. You got like one weird flow aim pattern that, I don't know, does some weird snap into a square or something, and then you've got some other one that does some other weird flowing pattern that goes into a circle stream or something like that, and it pretty much just keeps going. That's pretty much No Mod 3's in a nutshell. And this one is no excuse. I mean, yeah, this map is awesome. I really enjoyed playing this map when I played through the pool yesterday. So I'm very excited to see this one played. Always am. No Mod 3 and No Mod 4, I think, are really, really awesome maps in this pool. Excited to see this one play out. I mean, Kakurenbo not doing particularly, really poorly on the No Mod 3 in qualifiers or anything like that. Still a 1.8 million score and a couple 500Ks on the board. But, Banana Bread had that hero performance from Decadent in their qualifier lobby, getting the FC on the No Mod 3, so that really bumped up their team score. But other than that, pretty all-round scores for both teams, about a 400-ish K average aside from that FC from Decadent. So maybe something that could be close, especially moving into the easier pool. Of course, qualifier pools being more difficult than the round of 32. So we'll have to wait and see as players get into the map now.
The early break coming out from multiple members on the side of Kakurenbo. Amakawa Hana. No, that was a banter break for Amakawa Hana. It was just Zhong Ruyong and Neta with the early breaks for Kakurenbo. Lujol with a third early break for them, and that is now 4 full combos to 1 after the first little intro section that we get there. Decathlon does find an over tap and misses because of that. 1-4 pattern into a 1-2 gap with notes stacked on top of each other. a classic way to overtap and miss because of it if you are playing anything reasonably fast-paced. But unfortunately for Kakurenbo, too many misses from too many members means that that extra miss from Ducatan just not going to matter with the 3 FCs still intact for Banana Bread.
Yeah, I mean, as the FC still on Amakawa Hano, but I think there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room that needs to be, a lot of error that needs to happen here on the side of Banana Bread, excuse me. They've still got 3 FCs, and they've got a pretty strong recovery combo here from Decatan, that 400 combo. And I'd like to mention too, this was the player that was their star player on the No Mod 3 in qualifiers, and he's the only one who's broken. Now he's going to be joined by Non-Cycle, but still the 2 FCs on their side. Jongwoo Yong has got quite a strong supporting combo alongside Neta, so Amakawa Hano does have some support here. Moving into a little break, players are going to see the scores. Only about 160k difference, so it's not all over for Kakurenbo, especially if we were to see another FC drop from them, perhaps even a drop from Decatan. But Lugiel, with that drop, that's not what you want on the side of Kakurenbo right now. They need to hold on to all the combo they can get.
It's actually looking not too bad for Kakurenbo at the moment. 800 combo on both Jongwoo Young and Neta. Really not that far behind the FC from Razor Fruit plus the 750 from Ducatan at the moment, as now Jongwoo Young and Neta both about to crest that 1k combo mark, as Ducatan down at about 840 right now. But Amakawa Hano drops the FC. No! Pincus does drop the combo in response though, and that just leaves a train of combos with still some questionably equivalent combos for Kakurenbo. Now just a massive combo lead for Kakurenbo. And, oh my god, these trades of combos, man, so close every time. Neta now up over Ducatan. Lugiel slightly down on Non-Cycle, but Amakawa Hano slightly up over Pincus, and is just ever the slightest of combo leads for Kakurenbo. Made once again slight by the 3-way break for Banana Bread and a trade of drops for Neta. It's Lugiel, however, who's able to hold on with the 700 combo at the moment, and that might be enough to bring it back here in the last sliver of map. Amakawa Hano does drop the combo as well, but as long as Lugiel is able to hold through this section, they may be able to pull this back and earn themselves a break point here. It's all going to come down to the ending as Jongwoo Young does match the combo coming out of Razor Fruit. Every bit of combo counts for Kakurenbo right now, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. The extra supporting combos are not there, and Lugiel is just not enough alone.
Oh, yeah, they all had to hold on there. Like, I think maybe if all 4 of them hold on, I still don't think it would have been enough. It would have been damn close, though. That's so unfortunate for Kakurenbo. It's just every time they were given an opportunity, Banana Bread dropped a huge combo. Kakurenbo would just trade it right back straight away. It didn't give themselves any time to build up that advantage. It's just the trades were just happening at the most unfortunate places. And yeah, that's going to let Banana Bread just ever so slightly squeeze that one out. 4-1 now. As we now move on to Kakurenbo's pick. Very, very close to a break point. That would have been huge to them going 3-2 into their own pick. But it is what it is, and it's an unfortunate missed opportunity there.
It's still damn close, man. Less than 100,000 score away. It's so sad on that pick for Kakurenbo. That was probably their best chance at a break point that they were going to get in the no mod pool. But it's just not quite enough for them to get it, and it makes the comeback all the more difficult. They do still have No Mod 1 as a potential pick for Banana Bread and also a potential break point, right? But this 4-1 lead now for Banana Bread means match point, and Kakurenbo needing to win 3 in a row just to force that tiebreaker on Reset My Refrain. Looking a little bit grim at the moment for Kakurenbo. They have a couple of maps that I think are very, very good for them, however. The Hard Rock 2 we've already discussed. The DT1 is a speculative pick, but DT2 is not going to do it for them. I think at this point, though, you're looking at the Hard Rock 2 as the next pick for Kakurenbo, because that is the only one where you have data that suggests we're going to be better on this. That is the only one where, looking at the qualifier scores, you can say with a reasonable amount of confidence that you're likely to outscore Banana Bread. And that is going to be the pick for them. It's that Hard Rock 2, Shippujinrai. Not quite CS 6.5, about CS 6.2 for this map. Not quite as gimmicky as the Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers, as Hard Rock 1 takes that quality on here in the round of 32. Instead, a little bit more streamy, a little bit more consistency focus, and a little bit more flowing for this pick with those extra 180 BPM streams. So we're going to see if Kakurenbo can start up their comeback right now. They're going to have to win this map, take the break point, and then win another one to force that tiebreaker. But this is a map that looks very good for them on paper, and I'm really hoping that they are able to convert on it.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice that was not CS 6.5. When I played it yesterday, I just thought it was 6.5. But yeah, actually CS 6.2. So CS 4.8 with Hard Rock. So that's news to me, but regardless, still our small circle size Hard Rock map. And yeah, I mean, if they are able to convert this one, Banana Bread are likely to go into maybe a no mod 1. And I mean, that's not the worst case scenario for Kakurenbo. Yeah, Banana Bread look way better on the no mods in qualifiers, but it's no mod 1. I mean, I never put any team out of a no mod 1 almost. I mean, first thing that comes to mind just off the top of my head is Turkey in OWC beating United States on a no mod 1 on the first round. So, you know, it just always happens. Like, no mod 1s are coin flippy, upsets happen on them, so who knows, maybe Kakurenbo can convert this one, maybe take a no mod 1. Assuming Banana Bread go into that. You know, they've got the DT2 on the board as well, which maybe looks a bit more grim for Kakurenbo. We will have to wait and see. But they've got to convert this one before we get to any of that, see if they can make the score 4-2. Moving into our High CS Hard Rock map now. Players are in the lobby, ready to go. I have Pinkus coming back in for Banana Bread. That Hard Rock threat performed insanely well on the Hard Rock 1, was the carry performance for them. I have to see if he can do the same on our CS 6.2. It's going to be Adap here with the first drop on the side of Kakurenbo. Decatin, never mind, that was Client for a slight second there. Adap here with the only drop in the lobby, still 7 FCs going into this one. Particularly short map as well, as we're pretty much halfway already, and we've still got 4 FCs on Banana Bread, 3 to speak of on Kakurenbo. Adap here, still with the only drop, he is going to attempt to make that recovery combo. Everyone actually hit those funny kick sliders, so that was very surprising. There goes Amakawahano.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay, three-way drop for both teams, though. Zhong Weiyong versus Jackson now is the only matchup you need to be watching. As both players, the only ones able to hold on to the combo through that section. I don't know what 6 players dropped on at the same time. I didn't actually see Jackson overtapping.
Jackson.
It is now Zhong Weiyong only who is able to hold through that section. And the sole hopes for Kakurenbo rest on their captain's shoulders right now. We're coming into the last quarter of the map. Netta with the extra supporting combo needed to hold there, I think, as Cotton and Razorfruit still have extra combo to help combat the high combo from Zhong Weiyong. It's like 3,000 score. Is it enough at the end of the map? The misses from the rest of Kakurenbo, no! Are going to make it not quite enough. It's 4,000 score for Banana Bread.
Oh, he tried so hard, man. That was way too close. 4,000. He pulls through the FC, but the combo drops on Kakurenbo right at the end just wasn't enough to pull them over the line. 4,000 points. That is a heartbreaking way to go out. 2 picks back to back that were insanely close. Man, that is going to be a GG though. Zhong Weiyong putting up an insane performance on the final pick of the match, trying to pull his team over the line. But it wasn't quite enough for them. That is going to be a GG. Decatin with an impressive S rank as well. Just the slider break, 600k on him.
Very, very solid overall performance from both of these teams, actually. I am really sad that those last 2 maps went the way they did. Both on Nomad 3 and on Hard Rock 2. The difference was so close. 72K on Nomad 3 and 4,000 on Hard Rock 2. Definitely makes Kakurenbo a scary opponent in the losers bracket for whoever they go up against. However, Banana Bread, the timing on those last two maps just exactly right for them to make it into the winners bracket round of 16.